Hello, my friends on YouTube. There is so much going on. However, I promised that I will speak about the 10 commandments that Muhammad stole and put in his Quran. Most of these commandments are concentrated in one chapter in Quran called chapter number 6, and it is chapter 6 starting from 151 until 153. If you want, Google that, Quran chapter 6 151 until 153. However, to understand it better, I'm going to start at 154. This before, when Muhammad was trying to win the Jews to his side, and it says, God is talking through Muhammad to tell them that I gave the good book to Moses and it was perfect and everything is clear in that book. And it was mercy and to clear, it shows the straight way, and it was mercy for the Jews. I'm using my own translation because sometimes the translation that they put, they try to use words that is not reflecting really the accurate translation. I don't trust them, and you shouldn't either. So here Muhammad is talking to the Jews in the beginning, trying to win them over to his side, knowing that if he wins the Jews to his side, Judaism is the root of Christianity, and if at this time Christianity was very well established religion, so if he can control the roots of all religions, which is the roots of Christianity is Judaism, if he can control that root, he can actually control the trunk and the branches. So until now, Christianity actually in charge of the world. So should you have the capability to control Judaism and then Christianity, the rest of the three, Islam will be in charge. So he was talking politely a lot in the very beginning when he was in Mecca, trying to win them over. This is one of the verses that he's telling them, you see, that God gave Moses the book, but that does not make you a prophet. If I say Moses was a good man, a good prophet, that does not make me a prophet. Anyway, let's go to the number 151 and through 153 and see what he is saying. It starts with as if God is telling him to call the people and recite to them. And most Muslims actually avoid that word recite. When I tell you come, I will recite you the American Constitution. That will automatically mean that the American Constitution already exists, and I have knowledge of that Constitution, and I'm going to recite it to you. But I cannot claim that I am one of the forefather who put the American Constitution, or I was the mere author of the American Constitution. So here is Muhammad with that knowledge in mind talking to the Jews, especially to the Jews. Come, I will recite to you what God had forbidden or prohibited for you to do. Do not take another God with him. Wow, what a shock. What is the first commandment in the 10 Commandments? Let's see. Let's read it. Okay. In Exodus 22 to 17, the Ten Commandments. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. Did he bring anything new? No. And even the second commandment after it, okay, it's similar. It's actually similar to the same thing. It says, "You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath." Anyway, meaning is one God. Okay, so here's Muhammad is telling them, uh, to have only one God. The Jews and the Christian, they have one God, and basically in Arabia there were either most people in Arabia, they were either Jews or Christian. There were idol worshippers, but these were very few in Arabia, and most of them are people who were coming from outside, merchants from outside who believed in other gods, and they had images of their gods, and when they come to do their business, they will also pray to their gods to bless them. People came from all four corners of the earth to this area, and there were many weird practices, including the Kaaba, this black building that Muslims go to perform Hajj over there once a year. That was also idol, one of the idols that some people use to worship. But because it was the biggest, Muhammad took it, and he kept the same rituals that it was used at the time of idol worship. Anyway, so that is, he is reciting to them that God told you that you should have only one God, and be merciful and loving to your parents. What's the fifth commandment in the Ten Commandments? Is to honor thy father and mother. Nothing is new. And then this is a bit tricky. Don't kill your children. He is referring like some poor people, because they cannot take care of their children. If the wife gets pregnant, then kind of like abort the baby, or when the baby is born they will kill it. I don't think this was practiced. However, there were similar things practiced back then in Arabia, and they tell you, the Muslim, they tell you, oh, Muhammad stopped the killing of the young girls in Arabia. No, that was not accurate. Like, for example, the Native American here in America, before the coming of the settlers, they used to do what's called virgin sacrifice. Once a year they would sacrifice a young girl, a virgin, to their belief, to their gods. In the southern of Arabia there was a tribe. This tribe also believed in the very same thing, that once a year they would offer a virgin girl, a young girl, I don't know how old she was, but a young girl, as an offering to the gods. But the Muslim, to polish the image of Muhammad, they said the Arabs were ashamed to have a girl, so they would kill her at the time of birth. If this is the case, most Arabs, especially the wealthy ones, back then they had more than one wife. Where all these women came from? If they killed all the girls, there should be very few women. But even Muhammad's first wife, Khadija, was a very, very influential and wealthy woman. Why she was not killed? She had girls too, by the way, from her previous marriage. Anyway, so he's telling them, don't kill. Okay. The Ten Commandments, do not kill, period. Alright? Do not kill. And don't abuse the wealth of the orphan. Like, for example, if God forbid my brother dies and I have to take care of his son, young son or daughter, then I will use his wealth, his money, to take care of his children, and I shouldn't really use it for my selfish purpose. However, if Muhammad is talking about that, it means he himself, his mind was not really clear that he used other money for selfish purpose. And do not commit like sin or do something evil internally or externally, something that is visible or invisible. When the Ten Commandments tells you do not kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't covet your neighbor's wife, you are reciting the Ten Commandments in the very same manner, by putting a twist on the words to show something different, like to put yourself as a prophet. And then do not kill. Don't kill anybody except with a righteous cause. This, when you say righteous killing, you are opening the door to have anyone can kill. And that's what we see today. ISIS, they put their own standard of when and how to kill infidels. Taliban, Boko Haram, Al-Nusra, Al-Shabaab, all these terrorist groups, they have their own, because it's open. Don't kill unless it is based on righteous cause. So each one puts his own standard of righteousness. But in the Ten Commandments, do not kill, period. And actually the proper translation is do not murder. Do not murder, because killing at the time of war is permitted. Also, to slaughter a sheep or a goat or a cow to use the meat to eat is permitted. But murder, the difference is murder, you kill with the intention of benefiting yourself from murdering the other person. So if I kill my neighbor, if I murder my neighbor to take his wealth as my belonging, and take his wife to be my sex slave, and this is basically what Muhammad did, this in Judaism is not permissible. This murder is not acceptable. But to defend and to protect yourself and your tribe is permitted, so that nobody can tell me, oh, but in the Old Testament I'm not defending the Jews or the Christian. I'm just telling you, that this was the case, and the Jews were threatened by certain tribes around them, and therefore they destroyed them completely. Yet they did not loot. They did not loot. They did not take women to be sex slaves. They took some girls, yes, to be wives later on, not sex slaves, different. Okay, that's 151. Let's see, 152. Oh, we spoke about don't touch the money of the underage, and وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ بِالْقِسْطِ. Be honest when you do business. If you say, okay, you are buying 10 pounds of this, it has to be 10 pounds. Don't cheat in the weight or in measurement. If you say 10 yards, it's 10 yards. If it's 10 pounds, it's 10 pounds. Don't cheat. So this, because it seems to be like he himself, because he was a merchant, he knew about cheating. So to me, it indicates that he was a cheater when he was a businessman. Okay, we go now to 153. Let's see. هذا صراطي مستقيما. This is the straight path. This is God's straight path. After he put all that stuff that it's basically stolen from the Ten Commandments, God is like God, after he gives Moses the Ten Commandments, he would tell him, this is the straight path that everybody has to follow. So he's telling them, this is the straight path. People should follow it, and don't deviate from it, basically. Now, that's most of the Ten Commandments is concentrated in these 3 Quranic verses. However, there is one more commandment which this is exclusive, that Muhammad brought, and this is in chapter 6 in Quran, number 153. Quran chapter 6, 153, if you want to get to that. هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه. No, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. No. Chapter 4. I'm sorry, forget the first part. Chapter 4, verse 3. If you're afraid, it's not really very important, the translation of the first part. If you concern or afraid that you will not give righteously to the orphan, I don't know, the next part has nothing to do with, it's confusing. There's word marriage and the F word. Okay, he's not using marriage, he's using literally the F word, and I don't think you will see that in the translation. Okay, it's okay to marry what you like of women, the women of your choice. And he's not saying 1, no, you can take 2, 3, 4 wives, plus whatever you want of sex slaves. This is from me now. He's saying up to 4. I'm going to say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why 9? Because he took 9 wives at certain point, and it says in the Quran, in the biography of Muhammad, that he he used to have sexual relationship with 9 women in one night and wash only once. And the Muslim, without thinking, they brag that a man very strong can have sex with 9 women in one night and wash once. First, this is dirty. Second, there is no normal human being will do that. Even animals don't do that. And if I can do that, or any human being can do that, when are you going to work? It's not easy to work, make these videos, prepare for them, and maintain my house. And that's, I have only one wife. Now, to have 9 homes, 9 wives, 9 homes, how can you sustain that? You need a fortune to be able to take care of 9 homes. How can you work? What were you working? Of course, he was not working, he was looting. So business was good. But even business was good, and financially you can support that. Now, how can, if you have a message from God, when do you have the time to spread this message? After having sex with 9 women, plus the concubines. That is my take on this. And that's why, if you want to be a perfect Muslim, you should follow the example of your leader, Muhammad. He took 9 wives, take 9 like him. Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments. We hope to hear from you.